Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh by Shem Yahshua by Shem Rakako Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, The Prophets Prophesy. The prophets don't have music concerts. When I say music, I'm saying R&B, gospel, hip-hop. We don't build hospitals. We don't go to Africa with doctors and heal their, infirmities. We don't do none of that. That's not our job. We don't march down the street. Okay? A lot of people get, excited about this IUIC. Man, this is the greatest thing. First of all, you don't even know what they're teaching. What if they're marching for all in the name of destroying all black women? Look at how they're marching in the order. Yeah, but did you listen to their message? Not saying that they teaching that, but anyway, see, Jake likes things put in front of them. Jake likes to be spoon-fed. They don't want to do too much, get into too much, they don't want to study and really apply themselves. That's why most of our people that join these different camps, a lot of them are not intellectually sophisticated to really get this truth. And then if something happens to them, then these guys are the worst guys in the world. Well, when they teach that white people that you can hate white people. First of all, you've been in the organization for 3 years. They never taught a class on that, nigga. I don't want to use the N word. It don't mean that. This means black. If I call he's a black man, if I say he's a nigga, all of a sudden I'm the devil. Nigga is Latin that means black. That's all it means, man. Anyway, so did I get the topic? The prophets prophesy. That's it. Okay? So I was watching this video. I was watching the elder Yahshua doing a class, and he said he wanted to get in the book of Daniel maybe later today, and I said I'm gonna do it right now. Which he'll go ahead and do it, and I'm gonna kind of recap on it. But I said, yeah, we got to go back into them breakdowns because we're prophets. The main books, you're dealing with the whole book, but the main books that we're focusing on right now is prophecy. And also in this video, this clip that I'm going to show you, I just watched up until about this point. The chief priest, which his title is, if you got a title, I'm going to give you a title, chief priest. And when you refer to me, you should refer to me. All you guys should refer to me, especially you, Nate. I'm the apostle to her. I'm not. Don't see the thing about that creepy nigga. He'll call us by our government names. Okay. Oh, and something else happened I was listening Saturday. One of the Levite brother, the two brothers, not what's his name? What's his name? Lakabana, or whatever his name is, which is Paleo Hebrew, by the way, but they say it's Ebonics. The other brother, Malachi, whatever, he said that these other groups, meaning GMS, ISUBK, Sakari, whatever, that we have secret meetings with Esau, and that we're planning on deleting the members of the IUIC. Now, that's a blatant lie. That's a blatant lie. Now, if you say, well, where's the proof of that? Well, I'll let you do them. Because since you niggas are lazy, I'm going to give you a chance to not be lazy. Go to the video that they did Saturday night and watch maybe the last hour, and he'll make the statement. Okay, I'm not going to find it for you. I may go into it later. But that's a here these guys wearing fringes. Where are your fringes at? The purpose of the fringes is to look at them to keep the law. So I'm pretty sure he had his fringes on when he put that lie out there that we're working with Esau, like we're really false prophets. We're working with Esau, and I'll try to find it, because I know you Negroes ain't gonna find it. Well, where the proof of that, man? See, you just putting words. You putting words in this guy's mouth. So that's why you gotta prove. You gotta have the receipts with a Jake. When you're dealing with Jake, you best have. Esau don't need no receipts, man. Jake, these small hats. Jake ain't saying. I don't know. You might not be the people, but when it comes to us, y'all Negroes, man. Y'all ain't them people. Like this blockhead right here. Watch what he's gonna say. Anyway, even Chief High Priest Alazar, he even mentions. I don't even know if you realize it. He even mentions in this clip I'm going to show you that we're in the end times. Okay, so let me just let it play, and then I got what I did. I just put in the word prophet. Right. I'm just going to go to prophet. Is mentioned 244 times. Let me see if it's in the Old and the New Testament. In the Old and the New Testament. So we're going to glean some of these precepts right here. And we're going to look up the word prophet. Prophets, when you look up the word prophet, it doesn't say prophets will build hospitals and feed people sandwiches on the street corner. And if you need the massage, the best massages are prophets. No. Wait a minute. So let's listen. This is put up by GMS South Carolina 08. Okay, the Lord didn't send prophets to build hospitals. We are under the curses. We are under the curses. So let's listen. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Building hospitals. I see them dudes getting money. I mean, they run the economic empire of the globe. Now
the thing about us, let's say we get money. Let's say we got all this money, right? You know what Jake gonna say? Oh, y'all sold out. So you can't win for losing with these people, man, with Jake. If we build up hospitals, oh, you guys are members of the Illuminati. No, ain't no Jake can get money like. So no matter what we do, we lose.
Who's God's chosen people and who's really getting blessed by the Most High, I'm choosing those white niggas because they getting the blessing.
He said he's choosing the white ones, right? He's choosing the white ones. See, a guy like this, you wouldn't have a long conversation with. You would try to whisk his ass down the street, you know? Or if you know he comes out every week, I would just go someplace else.
You're getting all the blessings. These black dudes, they just doing black people do best. Find reason to disagree and fight and argue over nothing. That's all I see.
Man, so here, right? Let's do this. So 2 minutes, right? So you got 2 minutes.
You changed up the rules, damn it.
No, cause right? Because y'all both be saying a lot, you know.
Nah, you changed the rules. It was a 5 minute with a 2 minute rebuttal. Then I get 5 minutes. Then he gets a 2 minute rebuttal.
Remember, it was a rebuttal of a rebuttal.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Rebuttal of a rebuttal.
Rebuttaling all damn day.
Yeah, but to rebuttal's rebuttal, right? Understand, like you said, Jesus had one truth, and prophecy tells us that.
Why is he saying Jesus? I'll let that slide because they don't understand Yahweh Shai. So he's saying Jesus so they can understand, and that's fair. You can say that, but if I was there, I would say Jesus, or Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, because that's a talking point. When you make a statement like that, that's a talking. What do you mean by that? Oh, well, you go to certain books written by Christian scholars. They all do say that the word Jesus is not the actual. He was not being called Jesus. They'll go into the letter J. You know the whole line. But that's called a talking point. When you throw, if you say Jesus, or if you say Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus, and they don't know what you're talking about, that's a talking point.
As we get closer to the time of the end, knowledge shall increase.
You heard what he said? You heard what he said? You heard what he said? So he knows that we're in the end. He knows that this thing ain't coming in no 1,000 years. He said, let me let you hear it again. Matter of fact, let me do this.
What is rebuttal, right? Understand, like you said, Jesus had one truth, and prophecy tells us that as we get closer to the time of the end,
as we get closer to the time of the end, because we're close, knowledge
shall increase. So we can't.
Knowledge shall increase. What is knowledge? Technology. Technology. I remember as a kid, you had the Dick Tracy series, and Dick Tracy had a watch that you can talk in. That shit, that's for the cartoons. That should have never happened. Guess what? The so-called Dick Tracy watch, that's been here and gone. Ain't nobody. That's out of style now. You got the glasses and all that. We got your so-called smartphone. You don't even need a PC no more. You don't need a laptop. You don't need a PC. You can do pretty much you can do any fucking thing. You can write documents on your PC and send them electronically, man. You know?
Can't fault the fact that the overall movement is growing in understanding the word of God. That's literally prophecy. Anything outside of that would not be. So we just learn and we grow and we actually submit ourselves to the word. But I want to say this right now. Hey, granted, the Jewish people, they're doing their thing, and this is what Jesus had to say.
See, he said the Jewish people are doing their thing. He didn't say the negative about the Jays, because you know how they run this shit, right? So, you know, these guys, they bother us on this shit. When do we ever bother any of the? There's small hats that pass us all the time. They might look real quick and they'll walk down the street. They don't run down the street. They walk down the street. Every once in a while they'll come and look at the sign and they'll talk to us, and we'll tell them the truth. We'll tell them, look, you may or may not be an Edomite, and then we'll tell them. He said there's some of our people that look just like y'all. Okay, so this so black and white thing. You're gonna have Israelites that look so whiter than white people. So you got to let people know. Well, is there any real descendants of Israel among the so-called white Jews? And you have to say yeah, because remember we were scattered all over the place. So some of them are that multitude, that mixed multitude, in Revelation 7 and 9. The angel said, "What do you see?" He's looking at people that don't look like Israelites. They look like everything but Israelites. And he said, I don't know who this is. He said, those are the Israelites right there. And that's what they're going to look like. Some of them going to look like Moabites. Some of them look like Ammonites. Some of them look like Edomites. By the way, the Herodian dynasty just means powerful family, rich family. They had a movie, a TV series called Dynasty. The Herodians look like Israelites. Okay? Like you can see the chief priest, look, he's got a Latin look to him. He can be like a darker, like an Italian or something like that. You should see his brother. His brother looks like a straight up, you think he's a Levite, he looks just like a so-called white boy, just more so than him. But guess what? John saw people that of this complexion, my complexion, this complexion, looking like everybody. So among the small hats, you're gonna have Israelites. Okay, in my journey in this life, I have ran into small hats that were cool as hell, man. I had worked for certain small hats, and they always came through. Don't worry, you're gonna be happy. I'm gonna put the price together. Don't worry, I'm gonna make you happy. And they would give you would say, look, if I don't get $200 for this job or whatever the case may be, they might give me $300. I said, God damn, yeah, I am happy, you know. Because I used to do a lot of subcontracting work. And they would say, well, I got to put the numbers together, but don't worry, you're not going to be mad. So I said, okay, well, he might be one of us. Then again, he might not be, you know.
Revelation 2:9. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. So he's saying these people are impoverished, right? And I know the blasphemy of them.
Now, if you want to get technical, that's really not talking about that, but you can use that. You can use that. If you want to get deep, it's talking about them wicked Israelites that knew that they were Israelites, but they're really not Israelites. The real Israelites are the elect. But you can use that. You can use that. Like the other day, I went to Daniel chapter 11, but the vision so fell, and I applied it to what's happening now with these small hats, the third temple. But the vision, but I qualified. I said that thing that I'm reading in Daniel 11 already happened, but I'm qualifying it. I'm borrowing it.
which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So Jesus Christ is telling us that there's people who are saying they're Jews and are not, they're the synagogue of Satan, and the real Jews are in poverty. So thanks for proving that point.
Damn, that's deep.
Man, so
So
okay,
if you're
Brandon.
losing,
And said, well, that was good. That was a good precept because the key word was poverty. So we're not supposed to be rich. And if we was rich, it would change your whole outlook about this truth. Let's say all of a sudden you got an uncle. He's a billionaire. You know, you his favorite nephew, and he leaves you $1 billion. You ain't gonna go out there and teach no more. I know I will. I will. Cause I love doing this. I love the 54 inside joke. But Jay coming to money, a lot of money. I mean, some substantial amount of money. They ain't coming out. They ain't coming. First thing they gonna do, they're gonna, as they say, grease our palms, so they can justify them not coming around. That's, oh, I can't make it. This happen, and I got to be out of town. You know, my aunt, she's sick. You know, she's in Jamaica or whatever, and I'm gonna be out there for a month. But before he says it, he gives you an envelope. He gives you an envelope. You know, a nice thick envelope. Well, brother, I'll send it. No. I said, brother, this, you know what the scripture said, Ak? It said, let the dead bury the dead. She's about to die. Let the dead bury the dead. Okay? And thanks for the envelope any goddamn way. I'll take your envelope and still curse you out.
and you in the right, but if you with it, you in the wrong. That's some real religious shit. That's
Look, right?
If you're doing wrong, you're in the wrong.
Look, Russell, look. So, 5 minutes. Just like, let me know when.
Okay. Cool. I want to use 10 seconds, but this go ahead and start. So if you build a hospital and you saving people's lives, helping people, I had hurt my knee back in the day, right? I was young, I didn't have insurance. I went to Cedars-Sinai that was like, man, we got a program for people who don't got no insurance. Hook my freaking knee up, that bitch is better than new. Like, just like new. They're the demons. But they saving people, helping people get over cancer, helping people walk again, helping.
And why are they doing it? For money. Because if you, that special program that you couldn't afford it, you didn't have insurance covered your ass, it was the United States. They're doing it because they're going to get, if you go anywhere in the hood, you're always going to have these clinics in the hood, right? Oh, they're just good doctors. They like helping poor people. No. They make money. I went to the hospital. I was in the hospital, this is some years ago, in the hospital for 4 days. And they asked me, do I have a job? And I said, yeah, I got a job. But they were like hoping, you don't got a job, right? They were hoping for me to say, no, they don't have a job. You know why? Because put in an application, right? Medicaid, they would say, he doesn't have a job. He doesn't have a job. You get that money quick. If I say I got a job, then I got to give them all the information that I got a job and I work for this individual, this company, and they got to double check it, and then got to see how much you make, whether you make enough where you can afford your own doctor bills or not. You know, needless to say, it came through, but it went through some stuff. But they had to do the work. Had I said no, I ain't got a job, boy, boom, he don't got a job. Okay, we're gonna give you the money. All right, so because they're gonna get these clinics in the hood that are open, and it seems like every time you go around, there's a new clinic. There's a health clinic, dental clinic, this clinic, that clinic, always in the hood, because they get the money from the government. As soon as the government, if Trump was to stop the Medicaid, you know, for poor people, guess what? All them clinics will close. All right.
When people like deal with brain injuries, all that, they're wrong.
They're doing it for money. Them small hats that own that, guess what? Them hospitals are open 24/7. They don't honor the Sabbath. They honor money. They do it for money, man. They'll smile, they pat you on the back. They smiling because they gonna get that money from your ass. But not from you, but from the government. If like I said, if Trump cut the Medicaid and Medicare, all them hospitals are shut down overnight. We're very sorry to say we cannot no longer keep this thing. Meaning they ain't getting no goddamn money. So they do it for money, not because they love people.
But the Negroes on the corner arguing, cursing out white women and shit, they're the ones who are right. Do you?
We don't curse out white women. We don't even talk to white women. White women keep walking. Every once in a while, Edomite man might say something, or Jake or something, and that's it. And we don't yell at people. We used to yell at people. We don't yell at people. We just teach, because we got the cameras. Actually, we got the smartphone. It's Apostle Gabar's smartphone. He puts it up, and when we normally speak, it'll be anywhere from 200 to 250 people initially that are watching, and then at the end, when we, when the end of the live, you check how many people watch it. It's always 1,000. Then in a couple of days, it might go up as high as 4,000, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5,000. So guess what? How many people did we reach? If it went ultimately inside of 3 or 4 days, it went up to like 4,000. Then we reached 4,000 people. That's more people than the Apostle Paul can ever do in his journeys, because of this technology, which the chief spoke about.
Do you see nigga logic? Do you see nigga, like, they're helping people. They're helping people. And these people are just beating people up, but they want you to believe that they're right. That was the Sadducee. That was the Pharisee. We're right, but we're just punching down on everybody lower than us. Build a hospital.
No, we're not punching down on anybody. We're not beating up people. We're waking up the elect of Israel. That's it. We're waking up the elect of Israel. See, we don't argue with Jake. Jake come with his Muslim. I said, look, brother, we're not Muslim. We don't deal with that Muslim stuff. We don't accept the Quran. And we as you can see, we're filming this thing. So could you please, like, if you want to stick around, you can. It's a so-called free country. Wink, wink, nod, nod. But you can't talk. Now, if you have a question related to what we're teaching, answer. No, but I want to go. I said, look, brother, we're not having that conversation. Now, we might just close up just because him. Or there might be some other people. I said, we're not going to say that until this guy get the fuck out of here. But you know how the demon, that's the demon working through that dude. He wants to go. He wants to get with his girl, but the demon's saying, no, stay and mess with them. So let's listen. So this is a sifting process, man. This is a sifting process. You ever see your mama make a cake? Back in the day, now you got Betty Crocker, everything's sifted. But back in the day, when they make old school, they used to make the cakes, they had the sifter. And they had to sift out the lumps, and the fine flour would fall down there in, and that's the flour that you would use. So we're in the sifting process, Amos chapter 9. We're sifting people. So we see this guy potentially might be one of the elect. This guy, hey, there's guys that been in this thing for a number of years that he came in on fire, but he really ain't on fire. He got a lot of excuses. We're going to have to suspend this guy or kick him out.
Do anything that uplifts anybody other than yourselves. The Bible says about you, Matthew 23rd chapter, you guys wear your tassels extra long. I noticed you had the extra long tassels.
And so I hate a nigga that gonna go into the scriptures, because you don't know the scriptures like we know the scriptures, man. He look, when Yahushua said that, he was talking to the wicked scribes and Pharisees. If he was talking about the Pharisees, that they were looking good on the outside. The scriptures speak about being a Jew. Let me do this. Oh, by the way, Joy Reid, the reason why she's crying, because she was getting $3 million a year. I'm not gonna get that money no more. But if she was smart, and she ain't all that smart, if she was smart, she can make more than that money. She can create her own platform. She can create her own platform. Man, let me be on a show like MSNBC for a number of years and let me get fired. Brother, look, I got my own platform now. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Rumble, I'm on this, I'm on this thing, TikTok and all that. and I'll go to the advertisers. And I'll get advertisers, people to advertise with my show based on how many people. I'll show them, look, I got 1 million followers. All those corporations be kissing my ass to get a 30-second spot. So I'm not gonna make no $3 million. That's why the bitch crying. You can make 30 million. You know? Hey, look at this guy, Roland Martin. Roland Martin is a millionaire, man. He done did his thing. But I ain't gonna say too much wrong because he likes men, you know. But anyway, where am I? A Jew is not one inwardly. Romans 2. I wasn't sure whether it was Roman or Acts. Romans 2:28. A man is not a Jew because he. Let me just open it up. Let me go to the King James. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, fringes, tassels, phylacteries, paddle on the side, sword on the side. Neither is it that circumcision, meaning physical circumcision, which is outwardly in the flesh. Let me just open this up. Go back to the King James. So in the 29th verse, but he is a Jew or Israelite, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart or the mind, in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of the Most High. This is why IUIC said, well, where your fringes at? They'll wear fringes and sin. They'll be walking around honoring the Sabbath day on the Saturday, which the Sabbath day, it does not fall on the Sabbath. The Sabbath does not fall on the Friday sundown and Saturday sundown necessarily. So if the Spirit was dealing with them guys, the IUIC, they would been know that. So every time they keep a Sabbath, they're going off. They write maybe once or twice a year, one or 2 months out of the year, because the new moon will fall on the Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. So when they keep their Passover, they're keeping it wrong because they're not even going by the new moon. Do you think if the Most High was with the IUIC, that the Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai would open their eyes to that? So let me see. IUIC, they open up these we open up a school in Africa. A lot of people do that. We open up a school in Africa. You know why they open up a school in Africa? Because Africa is dirt cheap. You know, if you open up a big school in Africa, it might cost you, I don't know, $500,000. It will cost you when you exchange the American dollar. They ain't building up no big schools, mega schools in America, because that should have cost millions of dollars. See, we can open up schools in Africa. Them Christians, we open up schools and hospitals in Africa because everything's dirt cheap. And then you tell you we need to keep the thing going. That's a money-making scam. That's all that is. You don't give a damn about them Africans. So anyway, let's come on back. Let me see, where are we? Okay, we're right here. Let's listen to a little bit more.
Tassels. That's what he said the Pharisees and the Sadducees do. When I look,
he said the tassels or the fringes and all that. That doesn't make you wicked. What makes you wicked, if you wear fringes and tassels to remind you to keep the law and then turn around and not keep the law. So if a guy wears a fringes, that doesn't mean he's a wicked scribe and a Pharisee. Because Yahushua and the 12 had to be wearing Pharisees because they were under the law.
Look at the Hebrew Israelites who work at the moving company that move my stuff when I move. They had their tassels extra long too. Jesus, everything Jesus pointed out in Matthew, the 23rd chapter, about who not listen to, you guys literally embodied that.
He doesn't understand the scriptures. He does not understand the scriptures. Because if he did, all you have to do is go back to Matthew 23, and it says, he says, do what they say do, but don't do what they do, because they say and do not. So are you supposed to wear fringes like they wear the fringes? Yes. But when you wear the fringes, keep the law. Fringes is a law, but the fringes is a law that you look down to keep the laws. Like IUIC, they'll wear fringes and break the laws, but they got the fringes on, which could give them the spirit of a Pharisee, Sadducee, wicked Pharisee, Sadducees. And the Pharisees and Sadducees are not, and the scribes are not wicked. The Apostle Paul was a Pharisee. He said he was a Pharisee. He said his father was a Pharisee. Gamaliel was a Pharisee. So Paul was a righteous man.
Anybody watching it, just go to Matthew 23rd chapter. I promise you, if you read everything Jesus warned you against about the Pharisee and the false teachers, Hebrew Israelites will literally fit that criteria.
No, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Because you don't know whether this man's keeping the laws or not. You know what this man does. I'm using him because he's the only one representing Israel.
To the T. Now, let me give you a message of positivity, right? So in John 13, verse 34, this is what Jesus said. He said, I am giving you a new commandment, that you love one another just as I have loved you. You also love one another. By this, all will know that you are my disciples. If you have love among yourselves, they don't even get along. They can't even be in the same damn synagogue together. They got to start a new crew every freaking 5 minutes because they're always going at it with each other.
You know, because you got these fake ass Israelites out there. If the GMS, we love each other. Well, at least some of us do. There's a lot of niggas in GMS. I'm just gonna put that out there. The Most High gonna give you the boot. You niggas in GMS, the Most High getting ready to give you that boot.
Other. Where's the love among each other? Also, love one another. He didn't just mean people who are within that religious group. He meant just love people. Do unto others as you would have.
No, it did not say that. Did not say that, man. Did not say that. The Lord called, I believe it was, was it with his gripper or let me find it. Let me find it so I can get it right. I think it was Herod. Let me do it this way. Jesus called who a fox? Herod. I was right. I was correct. I just wanted to be, I knew it wasn't Pontius Pilate, because Pontius Pilate didn't have no problem with Yahushua. It was Herod Antipas. He said, Yahushua called Herod Antipas a fox, one of the sons of Herod the Great. And English speakers and Europeans assume the point of obvious foxes are proverbially associated with cleverness and craftiness, or wicked. Therefore, Yahushua must be calling Herod a crafty person. So he knew about Herod Antipas, and he called him a fox. So he didn't like that person, right? Our Lord in Saint John the 8th chapter, he condemned those wicked scribes and Pharisees that he was arguing with. He condemned them. He condemned them to you from beneath, I'm from above. All right? And you can even go to that precept. So there's many scriptures on Yahushua getting on the Israelites. Oh, he called the scribe and the Pharisees, that same chapter, Matthew 23, he called them a bunch of serpents, vipers, he called them. He called them a bunch of vipers. He called them a bunch of mausoleums, which are sepulchres, which is today is called a mausoleum. Small had to get buried in mausoleums because they're following the Israelites from back then. He said the sepulchre, the mausoleum, was beautiful and white on the outside, but inside the dead men's bones. So he was cursing them out. So what the hell is this guy talking about?
Them do to you? Are these people doing that? Would you want somebody cursing at your mom, talking about she's a dirty, filthy Edomite and she's a demon and all this stuff?
If she is one, you tell her. She said, what about my mother? My mother's white. I said, well, if she's an Edomite, she's going into captivity. I'm just telling the truth. You can tell them that with a smile on your face. You can tell them that while you patting them on the back. See, this is why our attention is on the potential elect.
Because they don't agree with her? No, you wouldn't want somebody doing that. That's not love. Jesus did not do that. That's why I would say the Christians even have an advantage over you. Because Christian is one who strives to be Christ-like. At least they try to pretend.
First of all, Christians don't even understand the scriptures, just like you. You don't understand the scriptures. Christians know a handful of scriptures, and that's it. The Christian scholars don't even know. Christian scholars, they always get lost when it comes to the prophecies. The proof of that is go to the Bible Hub and put in like, I don't know, Revelation 12. They're gonna all go off. They're all gonna have their take on it.
Tend to be nice. You guys literally market the freaking anger and the hatred and all that stuff. I got Hebrew Israelites on the corner. Ain't nobody bothering nobody. Death to America. All this crazy shit. Like,
well, they're telling the truth. Does he know why are we here? Should you be mad? Any other fucking nation, if so-called black people enslave Europeans and put them in slavery and the history is clear, you think Europeans are going to be nice? Oh, you guys are so nice and I'm so glad. No, but we're the ones that got to be happy that we went into slavery. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. And see, that's why a nigga want to stay in America, because they doing somewhat pretty damn good. Especially you actors and entertainers. You don't want to leave America. You don't want America to be destroyed. You're doing good. Amos, what is that? Amos 6. I read it the other day. You put far from thee the day of the Lord. And then as you read down it says, because they want to lay on their couches and so forth and drink wine and Jake Floyd don't want the kid. He don't want the missiles to come. Will Smith, he don't want the missiles to come. Will Smith, Floyd Mayweather, I'm just naming some names. LeBron James, even a insignificant Bronny James, he living good. He living good. So do you think do you really believe that they want America to go down? They said, man, we doing great in America, man.
Bro, you about to go to work on Monday after you finish acting a fool like this on the corner. I don't think that's what Jesus taught. I don't think you guys are good stewards of your Messiah. Last scripture I'm going to give to you, and I think this shuts everything down. And, I wanted to use a scriptural reference. Let's go to Matthew 28, verse 19. Remember Jesus said...
Oh, this guy's a classic Christian. He doesn't even understand that. And if the Lord meant that means he contradicted himself. Why would you follow a man that contradicts himself? If the answer to Matthew 28 and 19 is Matthew's 10, 5, and 6. On down. Really, Matthew's 10. That's the Great Commission. No, the Great Commission is Matthew. No, the Great Commission is Matthew's 10.
I'm giving you a new commandment, right? Love each other, all that stuff, right?
Love the Israelites, even enemies. See, me and this brother might be considered enemies. All are enemies, But guess what? If he had a flat tire broken down on the road, and I see, oh, that's Al-Azhar, let's help him out. That's how. Hey, if I saw Bishop Nate broken down, and some of the apostles, oh, that's Bishop Nate. Let's go and help that brother out. So even if we're somewhat kind of like enemies, they're still an Israelite, man. If I saw him broken down in the road, I'll help him out. Hey, shalom, Mark. And he might look, what you, man, you talking? I said, look, we just here to try to get you back on the road, all right? So now I don't know if they think like that with me, you know?
This is what he said. Go therefore and make disciples of people of what? All nations.
He doesn't understand the scriptures. It's referring to the Israelites scattered among all nations. Now, if you just capsulate that, that means you got to go to the other scriptures to understand what he really meant by that. Because that's clearly a contradiction from what he said in Matthew 10:5-6. Don't go to the Gentiles. Here he's saying go to the Gentiles. He doesn't understand the scriptures.
Not just black people, not just niggas, not just people darker than a brown paper bag, of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and the Holy Spirit. Doing what? Teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. So Jesus said, I'm giving you these commandments. Teach them to observe what I command.
The them are Israelites. And the them are the elect of Israel.
This ain't go teach them the Mosaic law. He didn't go tell them.
Wait a minute, Yahushua said to the woman that was accused of adultery, she was caught in the act. The Lord let her go and said, go, I forgive you. He said, go and sin no more. In other words, don't do this. Don't commit adultery no more.
Go teach them the law given down to the Israelites through Moses. He said, teach them what I commanded you, because what he commanded, the law he gave, was superior to the Mosaic law. Let's not say he abolished it, but he fulfilled.
Well, he said superior that he law. No, he didn't knock the law. He told the scribes and the Pharisees about where is that? John. I believe it's John 10:34. Let's see if I'm correct. I'll find it though. I'm almost positive it's John 10:34. Yep. They wanted to kill him. Then the wicked Jews, took up stones again to stone him. Yahushua answered them, many good works have I showed you from my Father. From my Father. There's a difference right there. From my Father. For which of those works do ye stone me? The wicked Israelites answered him, saying, for a good work we stone thee not. And what he just did was a good work. But for blasphemy, and because thou being a man maketh thyself God. God just means a judge. We are gods, all right? Yahushua answered them, is it not written in your law? So did not our Lord know the law? I said, ye are gods. If he called them gods, unto whom the word of God came, and the scripture cannot be broken. So he cut him with the scripture. And that was Psalms. He was quoting out of Psalms. So he referred to that as a law. Matthew's 5:17 and 18, it says, not one jot or one tittle of the law shall let me go to that so I can read it right. Matthew, basic foundational scriptures that Christians don't know. Matthew 5, 17. Think not that I come to destroy the law. What law was he talking about? He's talking about the law of Moses. So he didn't give him here, put this law out, and here's a new set of laws. He fortified the laws, right? It said all the prophets, meaning Jeremiah, Ezekiel. I am. And what does it say in the prophets? Destroying Edomites and the other nations, putting them in captivity. the prophets, I am not come to destroy but to fulfill. He said, I come to fulfill what the Lord says, what Moses said, what the prophet said. Oh, he gave him a new law. He took that law and he pulled it out of his back pocket. And no. That's why it's a fucking waste of time and a headache to converse with a Christian.
The law, so he was qualified to give new law. Now this is my final thing.
One of the laws that he gave, he renewed the law, was this. Scribes and the Pharisees spoke about adultery. Matter of fact, where is that? I want to go to that. I believe it's Matthew 19, if I'm not mistaken. Matthew 19. Okay. Okay, I got it. Matthew 19, concerning divorce. I don't want to read from the top verse. Okay, it said the Pharisees attempted him and answered, having read the meaning, and said, for this cause shall a man leave. And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they twine shall be one flesh. Therefore they are no more twine, but one flesh. What therefore the Most High have joined together, let not man put asunder. So when you deal with a woman, you're supposed to deal with her. Y'all supposed to grow old together until one of y'all die. Anything outside of that, you deal with another man. That's a woman deal with another man. That's adultery, and that's causes to be put to death. That's a sin unto death. It says, they say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away? Because that's what they were doing. I'm tired of looking at you. I want to divorce you. I'm going to get another woman. And then when you do that, you cause her to commit adultery. Because even though you have a divorce, that was your woman. It said, what the Most High brought together, let not man put asunder, right? It said, he saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of their hearts, suffered you to put away because they were wicked as hell. But that's why only two of them went from the side of being in Egypt into the wilderness, going to the promised land. Only two of them made it. That was Joshua and Caleb. And Caleb was not an Edomite for you clown-ass Christians out there. The Edomite made it. Get the fuck out of here. But from the beginning, it was not so. The Most High designed the man and woman to stay together. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except to be for, this is where you got to go. You got to go into the root word. The word there is adultery. Adultery only takes place when a man and a woman is together and the woman steps out with another man. That's adultery. Not when a man steps out with a woman, another woman that's not married. That's not adultery. It only applies when a woman does it, when she goes out with another man. And that's cause for the man, the husband, to put her to death. And shall marry another, or that's divorcement, committeth adultery. It's still adultery. So even though Moses allowed it, because they were wicked as hell, it was still adultery. And whoso marrieth her, which is put away, doeth commit adultery. So the man that comes along and gets with this man's wife from the beginning, that's still adultery. Whether you get a papers of divorcement, So he fortified that law. So in the kingdom of heaven, ain't gonna be no divorcement in the kingdom of heaven. Ain't gonna be no divorce. Ain't no woman gonna divorce us. Ain't gonna be no adultery among us. And if there's adultery among the other nations, we're gonna put them to death. There's not one Israelite's gonna commit the act of adultery, because we're gonna be perfect.
None of what he says sounds like what you guys are doing. I believe.
See, you comparing with these scriptures that you're reading that without understanding. You're saying we're not doing that. You don't see it because your eyes are not open. Because you're not one of the elect. So guess what? You're going to be destroyed.
I believe that Hebrew Israelites is just another government like thing, like a government freaking psyop or something, which is just
There they go. That we're a government psyop. That we are here to deceive people. We're getting paychecks by the Donald Trump is sending us money. Behind the scenes. How them black Hebrew Israelites doing? Sending them some more money. Tell them to keep sending them some money. We gotta keep these people deceived. We don't want black people to be Christians. So he's just gone, man. That's why I would never sit down and have these. And if I did, I would just go. I would go for the gusto. I would tell them, look, what if we don't accept this? Then you're gonna die. America's gonna be destroyed. That's Babylon the Great. The woman that sitteth on the scarlet-colored beast. You're gonna be destroyed. That's America. You the Edomites. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. If you don't see it, you will die and come back. Eventually, you're gonna find out that you're Israel. He's not gonna make it. He's not. I don't see this nigga repenting. But he will come back in the kingdom, and he's not gonna burn in hell like these boneheads from the IUIC teach, which they just started teaching about 2.5 years ago. Meddle not with them that are given to change. Let's listen to a little bit more. See, we analyzing everything right now.
just meant to divide black people. Because once again,
first of all, we're not black. You're wearing black. Your face is brown.
we doing is fighting and arguing over this shit. Ain't one hospital been built. These dudes ain't even put up a field hospital. Nothing positive is coming.
We're not doctors. What the fuck we gonna build up a hospital? We ain't fucking doctors, man. So all of us gotta go. I'm gonna tell the brothers, okay, you brothers gotta go to medical school for 20 years and we're gonna build a hospital for Jake.
Out of that. Only thing I see is people getting dressed up, getting on corners, cursing people out, and just recruiting people into that to do the same. If y'all the real Jews, prove it. Go do what those real Jews is doing. Go build some.
Well, you see right there, he's saying that we're not the people. We're fake black Israelites. He said deal with the real people. So he might be set up by the government. You know? Go deal with you heard what he said. Let's bring it back.
Dressed up, getting on corners, cursing people out, and just recruiting people into that to do the same. If y'all the real Jews, prove it. Go do what those real Jews is doing.
Go do what those real Jews are doing. So right there, I would have got up and left. First of all, I wouldn't come and sit down. And if I was to sit down, I would just come straight raw, you know? And I would tell them why it's important for you to be an Israelite. And it goes beyond just being an Israelite. You got to be one of the elect in order to make it. This place is going to be destroyed. Have you been watching what's going on with the Middle East and Trump being in there? Everything's hot right now.
Go build some freaking economic empire. Go build a hospital that helps people. Go help people with money in other countries. Until you're doing that, to me, you're just trying to steal someone else's identity because you hate your own. And I rest my case.
See, as I already said, you're stealing. He's got it in his mind that these are the real people. So I wouldn't have two words to say. I wouldn't give this dude the time of day.
All right, all praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Jesus.
How do you know, man? Maybe the brother might be. First of all, if you say so, maybe the brother might be one of the elect. You ain't gave the brother a chance. He was saying some good things. You guys should open up a hospital. Now I found out something else. You ain't one of the elect.
GMS, Shalom to the hopefully elect. And I want to go back in on this, revisit this, and add a few more precepts to this video, or in response to this video. I think I'll entitle this, "The Lord Didn't Send Us Here to Build Hospitals." Okay, something to that effect. The Lord didn't send us to build hospitals, okay, or to do anything economic. Yeah, the Lord didn't send us here to build hospitals or have an economic empire. We are under the curses, okay? Now, me and Brother Yuan went into this earlier today. All right, I'm happy to report I'm back home in South Carolina. Made it back safely, probably about an hour ago. All right, maybe 2 hours ago. And shit.
Now you heard what he said. He was out there in Dallas, spent a couple of days out there, and he back home. And he's not really even home. He just getting home and he making a video. That's an example of being diligent, man.
Still burning some midnight oil. Anyway, this is the video, earlier response. Hebrew Israelites don't do anything for black people, which we did a response to Brother Quadar Shapat's video. All right, if you haven't seen this, go check this out. We went into a lot in dealing with what this guy said, but I wanted to actually do a video and put the clip in the beginning so brothers could follow and tear this shit apart. Now, this dude said a lot of stuff, and I think he's some kind of black consciousness dude, the fat black dude, the one on the left.
Yeah, he's a Pan-Africanist. He used to go back and forth with Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed caught him out there, and Tariq was gonna beat his ass too. I mean, he's a jiu-jitsu guy. He's really, him and his daughter's really into jiu-jitsu. But he's too fucking fat. So he's got issues. When you that fucking fat, you got issues, man.
And Al-Azhar, he basically pulled a scripture to try to rebuttal what the dude was saying. He used Revelation 2 and 9, which in my opinion was not a wise choice. I ain't coming against Al-Azhar.
I said the same thing. You can use it, but qualify it. There's nothing wrong with what he pulled out, because you go over their heads anyway. But if I had used, I would qualify it. But you can use it, because back to 7 used to use it that way. We say it was the small hat. You can use that. See, we can tweak the scriptures, man. We can twist the scriptures.
I'm just saying that the real understanding of Revelation 2 and 9 is not talking about, it's speaking of Israelites. It ain't talking about the other people who say, who claiming to be Israelites, or who are claiming to be the people.
But I'd still use it, and they would have to figure that shit out. I would use it. I would just use it and say that these are talking about the fake people, or I might say, but if you really want to go deep, and one thing we found out about these people, none of them are deep, so you can put the wool over their eyes.
All right.
Deceive isn't yet true, so you can apply the scriptures the way that Al-Azhar applied the scripture. I have no problem with that.
Just to keep it to avoid the algorithm. But that really wasn't a good choice that he chose Revelation 2 and 9. Because really, like we said, as we explained in the video earlier, you can use that scripture. We use it sometimes. Or you may hear brothers use that in reference to those people. But it's really not talking about them. It's really talking about Israelites. So be mindful when you go and try to use that Revelation 2 and 9. Because Christians and others will come in right behind you. See, these guys, they trying to stretch the scriptures. No.
Well, that's got to be a scholar. The regular Christians don't know. It'll go right over their heads. Go right over their heads. Real talk.
We understand that it's not really talking about those people. Anyway, this dude, as one of the brothers asked on the chat, why is this guy so obsessed with hospitals? Like, he acts like that's the standard of righteousness, somebody building a hospital. And, and I would say that with everything so messed up, cancer everywhere and all this stuff going on, that's the reason why you need the damn hospitals, because this rulership is defiled. Okay?
He got to go to the hospital because he's fucking fat. You first of all, you got a belly sticking out. You got to bring that belly. Jake got them bellies, man. I got a little belly. I used to have an 8-pack. By the way, I'm trying to get at least a 6-pack back. I want to get in supreme shape. But anyway, you can see that protruding belly that he got, that he's diabetic. He's diabetic or pre-diabetic. Most Jakes are diabetic. I can do the research on that. There's more Jakes that are diabetic than Edomites. When you got a stomach protruding, that means your body is what's called insulin resistant, as opposed to insulin sensitivity. If you're in shape, you eating the right foods, your body secretes insulin from your pancreas, and the word pancreas means all fresh. See, Jake gets messed up because that blood, the sugar builds up in their blood. That's why then it leads to other diseases. I say that diabetes is a cancer. It's a cancer because when you don't take care of it, it eventually leads to other diseases and it destroys you. You can go blind, you know, you can stroke out. You got, you know, if you got diabetes, you're based upon your food habits. I guarantee you got high blood pressure. You know, you got various different cancers. You're not moving enough. So he's a sick person. This man right here is a sick person. See, his protrudes a little bit, not like him, but now the reason why, and he's got a problem. That's why he's leaning. That's why he's leaning back, because he's tired. You know, his body's trying to fight them demons off of him, man. You know, I'm going on this rant. You know, I ain't got no business. Now, some of y'all, you know, y'all big, but you got to try to, you know, try, you know, to get yourself together. Because this leads in, hey, look, here we are in the spring. Spring it's been nice in the 50s for yesterday, today. You walk around with a jacket. Now, I went through this whole winter, and I might have got the sniffles. I might have got a cough. If I coughed 3 times this year, that's a fucking lot. I don't get sick. Last year, I didn't get sick. The year before that, I didn't get sick. Now, there's a 5 year, like 5 years, 6 years, you might get a little flu that you got to fight. But I don't get sick, bro. You know? And I guarantee you this guy be sick. See, some niggas get sick, and they so sick that they think it's normal. Oh, my rheumatism come from what? It come from rheumatism, arthritis, come from anytime you hear itis, it means how do you call it? It means acid, inflamed. Most of the time you come across certain medical terms, they'll have itis, the suffix itis, which means inflamed, meaning you eating foods that build acid in your system. He's all fucked up. Now his belly, it ain't all that, but you know why his belly is it ain't all that? Because he drinks them Cokes. Stop drinking them motherfucking Cokes, man. Don't drink sodas is the devil. You couldn't pay me to drink a Coke. If I drank a Coke, I'd probably drop dead. You can't pay me to drink a Pepsi. Last time I drank a Coke or a Pepsi had to be more than 20 years ago. You know? Anyway, I'm sorry.
This dude making like these other people are doing so many great things. Talking about if y'all really the real Israelites or whatever, why y'all ain't?
Let me just try something. Insulin resistance, meaning. Insulin resistance refers to the condition where the body cells become less sensitive to the hormone insulin. Insulin plays a critical role in regulating blood sugar. Niggas eat too much sugar. That's why Jake blasts himself. They niggas, you know, open fire on other niggas because they'll go to the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle, and that's the word. That's death. That would literally fuck your head up. You're eating waffles, which is nothing but carbs. You're eating chemical syrup, which is nothing but carbs. You're eating butter, which is margarine. They ain't give you butter, they give you margarine. And then you're eating deep fried chicken. And dainty, if you go to Revelation 18, the word there is dainty. When you look up the word dainty, they're dainties, which is a curse, is deep fried foods. Okay? So Jake's, when they shoots, look, any Jake that shoot another, the guy looked in the wrong way, he bust him in the head, do a medical examination on that guy. I guarantee you his blood pressure's up, which is hypertension. All right, his whole body's off whack. He's got critters in his body, which is what do you call that? Candida overgrowth. Okay, which craves sweets, and your whole body is off balance. And if your body's off balance, your brain is off balance, and your spirit is off balance. And it might be a new moon, so that the phase of the moon, affects your body, because your body's 75% water. So a nigga that shoots somebody, examine a nigga medically, and he got all kind of issues, man. He got all kind of issues. It says blood sugar levels by facilitating the uptake of glucose, which is sugar. Even Jake, your auntie would say, give me some sugar. No, you don't want no sugar. From the blood into cells for energy. See, a lot of niggas want to sit, they eat all that garbage, and they want to sit like so-called turkey day, right? What does a nigga do? They eat, they stuff themselves, and then they sit down and watch the game. And then a lot of them fall asleep because your energy levels are low. It says when insulin resistance occurs, the cells do not respond adequately to insulin, leading to higher blood sugar levels. This can eventually, how did Irv Gotti die? Now, the report came out that Irv Gotti died. He stroked out. He was eating Chinese food while he was playing spades, and he stroked out. Okay? He said in an interview with the Drink Champs or whatever, Nori, he said in the interview that he'd been having diabetes for years, but he said, I want to live, meaning I want to drink when I want to drink the brown juice, I want to eat what I want to eat, And that led to his death. He killed himself. That's suicide, man. Medical suicide. I gave you a new one. Medical suicide. You do certain things medically that get your ass killed. You knew you was gonna die. The last time I ate Chinese food, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago. Chinese food is death. Chinese food is death. That's the worst food you can eat. Best thing to do is make your own food. Apostle Gabar, he makes his own food every week. They said this can be, and I make food. I'm back into making my own food. I'm making tinctures now. I got the olive leaf I make my own tinctures. Anyway, please forgive me. I'm ranting. This can eventually result in pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes and other health complications. Check this out. Causes of insulin resistance include obesity, physical activity, genetics, certain medications. That's a killer too. Them pharmaceuticals kill you. And polycystic ovary syndrome. Symptoms of insulin resistance may include increased thirst, frequent urination, increased hunger, fatigue. You're tired. You want to eat all the goddamn time. Blurry vision and slow healing wounds. Because your insulin is not. Insulin means all fresh. It gets out that sugar. When you eat too much sugar, you're overworking your pancreas. And most niggas got it. If you suspect you may have insulin resistance, it's important to consult a health care professional for diagnosis and treatment options. No, you don't got to do that. Let me see. It said causes of insulin resistance include obesity, fatty McFat, physical inactivity. You don't do nothing. You're a couch potato. Genetics, meaning what? Genetics mean this. Well, your father had it, your great-grandfather. No, if you change your diet, you will not have the same genetics, all right? certain medications, the doctor tell you to take this pill, that can cause you to suffer too. And polycystic ovary syndrome. Now, ovaries, right? These women get a certain age, they got to tear out that whole, your ovaries, man, because it's cancerous, because it will spread. So let me do this. So let me come on back over here. I'm sorry, I'm giving you a medical lesson. This guy's got all the signs. Guarantee you, this dude is diabetic, and he damn sure is diabetic. He leaning, man. He leaning on that wall. He diabetic. High blood pressure, diabetic. And niggas don't want to exercise, man. Anyway, let's listen to a little bit more. Please forgive me. I'm giving you a medical lecture now.
Building hospitals and having an economic empire and this and that. Well, it's very simple. The Lord...
And I can make a tincture for that condition. I can make a tincture for that condition. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Didn't send us here for that shit. And we under the curses, as we brought out earlier. All right? And truth be told, in a righteous kingdom, in our kingdom, the kingdom of heaven, we ain't going to need no damn hospitals, because we're going to know all things. We're going to know all the secrets to the herbs, to, we can make medicines from the earth if we needed it. We ain't never going to need medicine, because we're going to be completely righteous. Sicknesses come on individuals because of sin. So when other nations get sick, we're going to tell them how to heal themselves.
Eating Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles is a sin. You should be punished for that.
What to do. Because we're going to know everything. It ain't going to be like now. You got the wicked in authority over the whole earth. People getting sick left and right, and they need help. And these damn devils stop you from having knowledge of the herbs. They hide all the holistic medicine. You really have to...
Beautiful point that the elder made. When you go to the doctor, and I had arguments with nurses and doctors, they'll say, "Oh, you can't cure diabetes." I said, "Yes, you can." Well, I'm a doctor. I don't give a damn what the fuck you are. And then I would explain it, and they would say, "You got a point there. They're not trained in herbs. They'll never give you herbs. They'll give you pharmaceuticals, because that's money. That's money right there."
Search and dig to find out that stuff. Anyway, let's go in from that point of view, because this dude going on and on about all the great things these people are doing. Well, in the kingdom of heaven, that's where the righteousness is gonna come, because he said that they getting blessings and they blessing people and this and that. Well, if you're getting blessings, that means you're not the people of the Lord, because the people of the Lord are under the curses. Let's go real quick to Daniel 9 verse 11 to confirm that. Was written in Deuteronomy 28:15 on down. It says, "Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him." So if you're one of the people talking like this guy, well, we're under the curses. And one of the main curses in Deuteronomy, let's go there. See if we can't bring that up. Right? The Most High said we ain't going to have no economic empire. It says, just bear with me here. Verse 43, "The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail." You see that? So we ain't going to be on top. The Israelites are not going to be building hospitals and doing all this stuff, because we're under the curses. Now let's go back to back to Daniel 9 and 11 again. "Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing," Salakia. "Even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. And he,
Yeah, because you can't blame sickness on the Most High. You blame sickness on yourself, and that's a curse. Now, I'm going to go to Deuteronomy 28, and I thought he was going to go to that particular scripture. Deuteronomy 28. Okay, let me do it this way. I'm gonna cheat. Okay, 58 verse. I'm sorry. Let me do it this way. Okay, that's what I wanted. All right, 58 verse. If thou wilt, and by the way, Deuteronomy 28 is not talking about one event. Vocab would say, when you go to Deuteronomy 28 or 47, for example, you start from 43 and it speaks about the yoke of iron. He'll say, well, that's talking about the Assyrians. Yes, the Assyrians did put us in yokes. Anytime a nation took us over, they shackled us and put us in yokes and all that. But that happened. When you read Deuteronomy 28, it's talking about various events of being cursed under various nations. It's not talking about one nation. Because when you do a word search on the word nation in nation or nations in Deuteronomy, it says nations. I'm going to go to that in a minute. So the curse is still on us even to this day. When we were in chattel slavery in America, the Atlantic slave trade, we had yokes upon our necks. Not all of us, but the ones that the yoke was to keep you from running. If you ran, they would put a yoke on you. That's when they put it. They didn't put it on every Israelite. They didn't put it on the house Negroes. House Negroes wasn't walking around with yokes. It was the field Negroes that attempted to escape. They said, okay, nigga, we know what to do. We're going to put a yoke of iron on you. That's for the field Jakes, not all Jakes. So why did that happen? Go back to Deuteronomy 28. Yes, it happened in the Assyrian Empire, but it also happened in the chattel slavery. Let me start from the 58th verse. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of the law, keep the laws that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name. And part of the law is knowing the name. That's why you think it's all caps. The Lord thy God, which is Yahweh Elohim, right? That's part of the law. God made to tell you to keep the laws, and they don't even call on the true Lord. Oh, we don't know his name, Then Yahweh will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, thy children, even great plagues, and of a long continuance, and sore sicknesses, and of long continuous. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord Yahweh bring upon thee until thou be what? Destroyed. A lot of us die because of sicknesses. It says also every sickness and every plague, which is bubonic plague, was a plague. Pneumonic and the bubonic plague was a plague, right? It said every plague which is written in the book of the law, the Lord bringeth until and every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of the law. So, AIDS is not written. HIV is not written. Gonorrhea is not written. Syphilis is not written in the law. These new diseases, the C. ragamuffin, you know, the bird flu, all these different diseases. That's what Jacob is suffering under, and Esau is suffering under it too, because Esau is coming under the curses of Deuteronomy 28. Okay, so now let's listen to a little bit more.
He hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judge us. Now he mentioned here, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath is written in the law of Moses. So pursuant to the curses, it was said in Deuteronomy 28 that these curses are going to come upon us and overtake us, and they're going to be on us for a sign and a wonder forever and ever. Can we go there? Let's see here if we get. Yeah, so this is Deuteronomy 28 and 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. You see, so you're going to have people that will agree. They'll try to say, since it's so obvious that we're under the curses, they'll try to say, well, yeah, this was got under the curses, but they came out in 1948. No, you're never going to come out of the curses. You're never going to go home from exile until the Lord comes back. He's going to take the curses off of us, and then we're going to have an economic empire. Then we're going to build this and that. All right. And I'm not saying that a hospital going to be among the things we build, because people ain't going to need no hospitals. There ain't going to be no crime. There ain't going to be no murders like that. Okay. People ain't going to be dropping dead from sicknesses. No. In the righteous kingdom, which the Lord, when the Israelites go home, they're going to be in, you ain't going to need any of that. And
when we in the kingdom, when Israelites are not going to catch colds, they're not going to get cancer, they're not going to be diagnosed with cancers. Women's ovaries are not going to be taken out. You know, their breasts are not going to be chopped off. You know, and that applies to Esau now and the other nations. But it applies, we are a sick people because of the foods that we eat and the lifestyles that we live. You know? Anyway, I was just noticing this, right? It says these chemtrails are out of control, and they're getting worse. I got to watch that. This is a short one, 12 minutes long. Okay, Hebrew Israelites are problematic, deceptive. And that's our women coming against us. So the hell with them women, you know? You miss a day, you miss a lot with this when being on this thing. Just seeing what's up. Okay, I was watching this, and the Elder Yashawamba said you're going to eventually do a full breakdown of Daniel 7. And I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it since he said it. Then I ain't going to do it. I'm going to let him do it. And I may even go back and review it, just to review it. He's gonna break it down right. And we got to go into them breakdowns. Go back into them breakdowns, man. When you break down a whole chapter. And this guy, Nero, he making things speed up. So thank the Most High for him. Oh, they haven't mentioned they made a big deal last week about they going to Fort Knox. Ain't no news on Fort Knox. Ain't no news on Fort Knox. So people should question them. What about the Fort Knox thing? And gold is not only in Fort Knox, it's in West Point. It's in Colorado. It's in New York by the Fed. It was under there, under the World Trade Center. They had a vault with gold in it. That is a new video. Eternal heaven on earth will begin when doom wipes out this current hell on earth, which is Esau's kingdom. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.